Felicity from GetYourRockOut with a couple of the lovely guys from Maybeshewill. How are you doing today?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, well.
Glad to hear it. You're just off the back of a tour with Trail of Dead. How was it? Was it amazing?
It was good. Yeah. They're a band that we'd sort of listened to and kind of looked up to for quite a while. So yeah, it was a bit of a it was a really nice opportunity to be able to go away with them, and the shows were cool. Had a lot of good times.
It's a lot of fun. Lots of nights out with certain
members. Yeah.
Bit of drinking, bit of lunacy, but it was good. Nice.
No, I mean the reviews have all been really positive as well. Everything I've seen is just like praising you to the heavens, and so
it's a good opportunity to play to new faces. And, there were certain shows where each applause got louder and louder after every song, and it was sort of a nice response. So
it's nice when you feel that you're winning people over.
And so have you seen a kind of big fan base increase, like with the tour? Have there been a lot of people checking you out that you didn't have before?
I don't think it's that noticeable this soon after, because it's
it takes a while for it to sink in, I think, and people start to check the band out, and you get likes on Facebook and messages and all that stuff.
A few times that people perhaps came up to us after and bought some CDs and vocalised their
appreciation.
Their appreciation.
Yeah, it's always nice to meet new people after the show and just have a chat.
And so when you're playing a live show, what do you think that the most important thing is to do?
Play the songs right, and then play them I think more recently, just sort of like the energy has been pretty good for us on stage, and I'm a pretty recent addition to the band. I've only been with them for like a year, but there's been so much touring over the past year or 18 months that it's a pretty well-oiled machine, I hope, by now.
I think we've got to a place where we're all pretty confident and sort of comfortable on stage, and what we have to do is try and translate that to the audience and kind of, like Matt said, get the energy across. And it's a two-way thing. Like if you can see the audience are into it, then it fuels you a little bit as well. It's just try and get that connection going with the crowd and play the songs well, and sort of.
Especially as an instrumental band as well, I think it's more important to engage, through that medium, because we don't
have like a front person per se. Exactly. I mean, John does like speech in between songs, but it's important that you make that kind of human connection with people, because a lot of the time you're just playing guitar, and it's difficult for people to latch onto that if there isn't like a human element.
And so how do you go about doing that? I mean, how do you kind of think, what do? You get on stage and do what to connect with them?
Scare people out.
Yeah, no, seriously, a lot of it comes from just like simple eye contact, just like making people feel like they're sort of included in the show.
Just make sure you don't get distracted by any kind of stress from the day, and just can be quite difficult. Like just try and just give it your all, because otherwise it's lack of kind of connection with the audience. It's not worth doing it. We want to give the best kind of impression that we can by playing our music, and that stuff gets really important.
I think people can tell if you're not really feeling it as well. It's difficult to sort of blag that. So
engaging with each other a bit as well, because you don't want to just be disconnected. I mean, again, with like the instrumental thing, I guess it's too easy just to keep your head down, and especially for me playing keys, I'm constantly just like, don't want to be like that. I want to engage with the rest of the guys on stage, and also engage with people that are watching us, because it's them that's paid money to come and see it. So I think that's important.
And do you think that you've kind of originally made it quite a lot harder for yourselves to go down the instrumental route?
It wasn't really a conscious decision early on to be an instrumental band. It's just sort of like circumstance kind of dictated. That's how it came about. It's made things easier for us in some respects, because instrumental music is kind of like a niche scene, and so it means that there's already like a sort of like a predetermined crowd for what you're doing. So it's quite easy to sort of tap into that crowd. It's not really been that much of a hindrance. I mean, we're never going to be, get to the same sort of level that maybe like Kings of Leon or someone would like. I don't know if I chose them, but first band that came to mind. I don't know.
I think we should just stop this interview.
Yeah, I'm probably done now. We're not going to have the same sort of like level of success as a band like that. But there's always a scene for the sort of stuff we do, and that's kind of worked to our benefit, especially early on.
Wonderful. You had a single out last year. No, sorry, early this year. Let's start that again. You had a single out early this year, album out last year. What does the future hold kind of new music-wise? Is there anything that we should expect anytime soon?
Maybe not soon, but
no, we're hopefully some point next year. Basically, we're taking some time off from touring the next 6 months or so to go back into the studio and write for the next record. We've been playing loads of shows this year, so we're just going to have a bit of a break and get back to writing. Hopefully with the aim to have something out sort of second half of next year, maybe later. So.
And you played some fantastic places as well this year. I mean, Russia, that must have been one hell of a show.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's we've been there a few times now. We usually do Russia and the Ukraine together, and they've been some of the best shows that we've done. The crowds out there are just so unbelievably just like up for it. Yeah, really sort of enthusiastic.
The ones we did like last year, a year ago in September, they were my first shows with a band. That was insane to step
dropping
into
you into the deep end.
Yeah, really in the deep end. But then when we went again this year, it was like it was before, part of an instrumental music festival called Astral. And this time around, it was a bit of a step up, supporting 65 Days of Static, and the shows was insanely good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Such a buzz off that.
Going from playing like sort of in this country, just going halfway around the world and hearing people, really sort of into your music. It's a great feeling.
And do you have one show that stands out as just like the greatest show you've ever played?
It's sort of hard to narrow it down to just one. I think
It's difficult.
Yeah, we've had great shows in front of massive audiences, and we've had great shows in front of like really small crowds. So I wouldn't like to pick one single one. It's too difficult for me.
Yeah, it's like sort of pure consistency, like what we sort of mentioned that trip before. Those 3 shows at 65 were pretty special. But as Rob said, some of the smaller ones can be fun as well. Like, there's been ones where it's been an hour of 5-piece, particularly cramped on stage, but then if we're like less than a foot off the ground and there's 100 people in a tiny room, that can be equally as pleasing.
It's great. Like being literally on top of the people you're playing to.
Equally as pleasing as playing to 1,000 people in Moscow. It's on par, I'd say still.
Could you choose a favourite between festivals and touring?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is difficult. We've done more touring than we have festivals, I guess. So there's that sort of like skewed ratio.
Touring's a bit more grueling. Festivals you can just do. It's weekends in the summer, isn't it? Usually, nice weather. I guess that's one of the perks. But and we quite often tour when it's really cold.
Yeah, the weather's been alright today. It's not raining. So, we're indoors. It doesn't really matter. But
It's sunny. I mean, you can't see the sun anymore.
yeah, it's been pretty good. The weather this year has been really good to us. Sorry, get into a weather tangent here. Just stop talking.
Kings of Leon.
Yeah.
My mind's all over the place today. I'm sorry.
But like I said, touring's a bit more grueling, and because we did this kind of stretch has been about 2 months with a few breaks, and then we did like nearly a month and a half with about only 2 or 3 days off earlier in the year before the summer, and that's a lot more intense.
But then you get into like a sort of routine, and you sort of learn to deal with being on the road. It's sort of taking your stride after a while. Festivals we usually do kind of as like one-off things, so it's a bit more like you sort of come to it cold because you're not used to been playing on stage for the last like 3 weeks.
We did a festival where we played twice in a weekend.
Yeah, we did 2000 Trees Festival. We ended up playing both stages, the main one and the indoor one. So yeah, they both have their perks.
So, the next 6 to 12 months, new stuff being written, exciting. Have you got any festivals that you can tell us about for next year yet?
I don't think there's anything set.
I don't think anything's been booked just yet.
Is it something that you're hoping to do again, hitting your festivals?
Yeah, we love playing festivals. There's a few that we haven't done before that we'd like to do. We'll have to see what comes up, I think.
Because we're sort of aiming for a release later in the year, it's less likely that we'll be doing festivals over the summer, but there is a chance that we'll be on a few. I think at the moment there's not really anything set in stone yet, but you never know.
And should we expect another UK tour at any point soon?
Oh, probably not before the next album, no.
No, I'd imagine, it'll be the next sort of album cycle before we come back round again.
Yeah. Because we haven't. This is the first time we've done UK shows this year. We've done loads of touring, but it's been elsewhere. I think we try and leave longer gaps now between UK tours. So I think, the next one will be after the new album comes out.
And would you be looking to come back and do a kind of tour as a support, or would you be looking for a headline tour to promote the new album?
I think at some point we'll probably do some headline shows, but if a good sort of support opportunity came up, then we wouldn't be adverse to that.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. It has been a pleasure. Have a wonderful day, and we will look forward to seeing you very soon.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.